coming into a comfortable seated position. You can do this sitting on a chair or sitting on the floor. If sitting on the floor, maybe sitting on a cushion to make sure the hips are slightly higher than the knees. If you wish to lie down, it's advisable to lie in a 45-degree angle semi-supine position, so maybe resting the spine against a bolster. Taking a moment now to find the position that is comfortable for you and that you know that you can maintain for 10 to 15 minutes. Turning your attention now to the lower half of your body. Allow the sitting bones to settle down into the cushion or the chair that you're sitting on. Relax through the inner groins and allow the legs and feet to rest dead weight in the floor or on the chair. Relax through the pelvis and the pelvic floor. Have a sense of your spine growing out of the base of your pelvis all the way up to the crown of your head, with the crown of your head reaching lightly up towards the ceiling or the sky above. Draw the chin back in towards the throat so that the hind skull lifts gently away from the top of the shoulders. Allow the eyes to soften, the jaw to soften, and see if you can settle the tip of your tongue just behind the top row of teeth and allow the root of your tongue to settle away from the roof of your mouth. Soften the neck and the shoulders, and once again settle your sitting bones down into the cushion or the chair in which you sit on. Allow the body to rest, to settle into the posture that you've chosen. And then coming to turn your attention to your breath. So not changing it in any way at this moment, just simply observing the breath. In particular, noticing the breath at the tip of the nose, just as the air enters and leaves the nostrils. Noticing the sensations of the air moving through the nostrils. You may notice temperature changes, the coolness of the in-breath, the warmth of the out-breath. Take the next few moments to steady your attention with the rhythm of your breath, the rhythm of your natural breath. Each time your mind becomes distracted, just gently bring the mind back to noticing the breath as it moves through the tip of the nose. Throughout this breathing practice, we will be working with a diaphragmatic breath. You may find it helpful to place your hands at the base of your rib cage, either side, so that the heels of the hands can just rest lightly on the bottom row of ribs. You may want to start with your hands in this position, and then as we move deeper into the practice, you can release them back into the lap. The intention is to find a position that does not create any discomfort or tensing around the neck and shoulders or eyes. Start to notice your breath and the movement underneath your hands. Breathing softly through the nose, keeping the muscles in the chest relaxed, so that the movement is only in the base of the rib cage. The upper rib cage stays relatively still, with no tension in the neck or the jaw. emphasize a soft lateral flare of the lower ribs as you inhale, and a gentle inward contraction with the exhale. Spend a few moments with the subtle movements of the base of the rib cage, tuning in to the diaphragmatic breath. As you inhale, there's a soft lateral flare of the lower ribs. And as you exhale, there is a gentle inward contraction. At this point, you may want to continue to hold the base of your rib cage, or you may want to relax the arms back down into the lap. And turn your attention to the breath within the nostrils. So starting to explore making the breath lighter, as if making the breath invisible. We're not adjusting the length of the breath, we're simply exploring a lighter breath, reducing the volume of air as you draw the breath in, and reducing the volume as you breathe out. Allowing the breath to become subtle, almost invisible. Visualizing this breath permeating every cell within you. Sense you are breathing deeply into space, expanding and opening the base of the rib cage on the inhale, and as you exhale, the narrowing and contracting of the rib cage. Consistently lighten the exhale till it becomes thread-like, almost imperceptible. Sense the breath becoming less discernible with each cycle. And we're exploring the soft edge of air hunger, where deep inside you are aware of a desire to take in more. Yet you are not starving for air, you are simply working with a sustainable level of air hunger, without pushing yourself to need to gasp or gulp more air. If you lower the volume too much, the heart rate will pick up and the breath will become chaotic. So we're working with a soft edge of air hunger. Notice that if you slow the breath beyond what is sustainable, the volume will increase. The exploration is to find a tolerable level of low and subtle breathing. Continue this for the next few moments. This sense of drawing in a light volume of air and releasing a light volume of air. With that sense that the breath is almost invisible. And now allowing your breath to return to its normal rhythm, with its natural drawing in of air and releasing. Noticing if any tension has increased in the eyes or the jaw or the pelvis or even the diaphragm. Check in with the length of your breath. And for this next round of subtle breathing, I'm going to explore a little bit of a longer in-breath and a longer out-breath, but still with this imperceptible subtle breathing. Always working within the soft edges of a tolerable air hunger. So when you're ready, starting to explore breathing in and out with a length of around 4 or 5 on the inhale and exhale. Maybe count for the first few breaths and then just gauge the length of the breath. Maintaining a diaphragmatic breath with the soft flaring of the base of the rib cage. And then when you're ready, coming back into the subtle breathing. So reducing the volume of air so that it is almost imperceptible, thread-like. Progressively making the breath lighter. Maintaining the length of the in-breath and the out-breath. And working with a sustainable level of air hunger. The sense that you want to take a deeper breath, but don't. As we work with this breath, you may notice tension creeping in around the neck and shoulders or the abdomen. Time and again, return to relaxing through the eyes and the jaw. The key to the practice is to maintain a sustainable level of air hunger without pushing yourself to need to gulp more air or to grasp breath in. If you lower the volume too much, the heart rate and the breath will pick up. Working to make the breath almost thread-like. The movement through the nostrils should almost be imperceptible, invisible. Maintaining the length of the breath, reducing the volume, keeping the eyes, the jaw, and the abdomen relaxed. And then knowing at any time you can return to your normal breath, which we will do now. Gently allowing the breath to return to its natural rhythm. Relaxing all effort of making the breath light. And then coming to tune into your whole body once again. Getting a sense of the body, and its contact with the chair or the floor. And this practice of subtle breathing has now come to an end.